Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll be doing another Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine reading. If you do like this video, as always, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe. And as I've mentioned in other videos, I'm a bit sick, so I'm sorry if it comes across like a little funny sounding, but I'm going to do my best to relay this message to you guys. So before we get started, I'm also just going to read a couple of channel messages that I had. There's not a ton of them, there's just a few. But I heard a couple names. So there was Todd, Andrew. I also heard autistic, something about a boat, appreciation. I also heard the name, like last name Armstrong, and grieve. I heard the word and grieve. I looked it up. So it's to cause grief or pain, basically. It could also have been engravement, potentially. I heard something about hourly rate, someone with long hair, subject awareness. I also heard a word that I didn't know if I should say on camera. This is the word that I heard, if you can figure out what it is, what it represents. The missing letter is an O. So anyways, that's the word that I heard. It can also just be, same-sex relationships between two men, but it could be other things. Just look it up, if you don't know what it means. I also heard affliction, which is a state of pain, distress, grief, or misery. Tenure, I always say that wrong. It's holding a position after a trial period. So it's like where you can't be easily let go due to any specific reason, unless it's like a very serious reason. And this has to be decided by some sort of formal proceeding. I also heard erudite, which is someone that's having or showing great knowledge, someone very intelligent. So those are the couple of channeled messages that I have for you guys, and then we'll get into the actual reading. I'll also mention that in this reading, I saw a few signs. You could be a Pisces or Scorpio sun sign. You could also be an Aries moon. I was also seeing some stuff about Virgo as well. Those are just some signs. Of course, you can be any sign. It's just those are the ones that are coming up in this reading. And so yeah, we'll get into it a little bit more here. But this reading is kind of looking into more of the karmic side of things, what's going on with them. And yeah, that's all based off of the channel messages above. I usually kind of go off of what I'm hearing that day, and then I read the messages because I feel like it's usually more important. So essentially, someone is ashamed to share their feelings because they feel like if they do so, it's kind of being emotional or being soft. And I believe this to be divine masculine. So I think that he's feeling like, basically, if he comes forward about anything he's been through, like if he's been through some sort of, abuse, trauma, a difficult situation, and I feel like he feels like he's not, being a man if he has to come forward and ask for help. And it's kind of sad because I feel like a lot of men deal with this, more than women, just because obviously it can go both ways, but I feel like more women, it's seen as more socially acceptable for a woman to express her feelings about a situation like this, whereas for men it's less talked about. So I feel like this could be something that he's been dealing with, and we literally have a card that I pulled that says, I'm holding back because sharing feelings makes me look weak. So I feel like this could be related to sharing something about trauma or just something bad that went on with this karmic person that he doesn't want to tell other people about. He could be the type of person that really keeps things bottled up inside, that holds things back, that tries to deal with it all himself. And this is very much like earth energy, so like Virgo energy. I don't know. Someone like that doesn't really express their emotions strongly. So we have that here, and we also had something about escapism, so hiding from the outer world to escape from life struggles, so kind of using your inner world to escape everything else, kind of going and again keeping everything bottled up inside and not speaking out your emotions, instead just overthinking things, going inwards, pushing it all down and just not telling anyone about what you're going through. And this is like, again, a form of escape. They could also be like, this divine masculine could be very like antisocial, could sometimes like, you know, go hide out on his own, not really want to hang out with people just because of what he's dealing with. Like, his way of dealing with things is to escape from the situation, to like run away sort of thing, or to go hide out on his own somewhere instead of speaking about it. And then I also had a card about something to do with like loving yourself and forgiving yourself. And it also talks about whoever this divine masculine is, he is like a person that gives the same energy that someone else does. So if you start showing any sign of, you know, not wanting him or not reciprocating or something, like he just kind of like cuts off communication, or he cuts off, like he basically gives you what you give him, essentially, in some ways. Like, it's like, oh, well, you're not texting me, then I'm not going to text you, like something like that is what I was getting. And then there's also something about forgiveness and healing after being hurt. And it also talks about this divine masculine having some sort of safe place, and again, staying away from others, because it's like he knows if he goes and hides out on his own and doesn't talk to anyone, then he can't be hurt anymore. It's like hiding away is his form of trying to heal himself, because other people just hurt him. Other people just make things worse, is kind of like how he was looking at things. But at the same time, it's like he wanted to let someone in, but he wasn't entirely sure how to go about doing this. So definitely there is that desire there, though, to have someone else help him, or have someone else show up for him and speak to someone. Like, I feel like it's a burden carrying all these feelings and emotions. But so I feel like eventually he might come forward and do so. But for right now, it's kind of like a lot of bottling things up. And if you're wondering why I'm not pointing at specific cards, I clarified 3 cards from earlier, and I can't show them on camera because they're a little more risque for YouTube. YouTube would not be happy if I put them on camera. So that's why I'm speaking to you guys about them, and I have them right beside me off camera. Anyways, so moving forward. So this karmic person here in this reading essentially tried to trap divine masculine. She was a bully in this situation, and she was like somewhat obnoxious. She was stubborn. She told lies. She also may have mental health issues. And when he was with her, it's like he was on edge. He had to check his phone all the time, often, because they would constantly want to know where he is, what he's doing. Also, you'd be on edge just because they were the type of person you'd never know what kind of mood they'd be in, sort of thing, especially if they're dealing with some sort of mental health issues. There's something about him always having to stay in at home, or something about staying in a room to avoid talking to these toxic people sometimes. Like, again, escapism, getting away from them. It's something about the opinions of them were really bad for his mental health, and it just kept making things worse. And there was also something about discrimination as well on the back of one of these cards here. These cards are double-sided. So yeah, someone could also have been dealing with that in this situation. And then this karmic person also, from what I was seeing in this reading, they have slept with multiple people, or had, it seems like, someone else on the side. Like, they weren't taking this relationship seriously. And this is something that eventually he found out, of course. And this other person on the side also, for some of you, could be like the same gender, same sex. And someone could be also LGBTQ. So that, I think it's the karmic person, but obviously it could be anyone in this situation. Like, doesn't matter, you know, however it fits for you. And yeah, this could be going on. This was definitely going on behind his back. And also there's something about gossiping about him, like with this other person, or something about this other person, and the karmic person, like having conversations about divine masculine or something. And this karmic person, when Divine Masculine found out about this, or someone found out about this, and something about this karmic person was exposed in regards to them being with, I think, other people, they're embarrassed about it. They didn't want people to know. They don't want to be judged for what they've done. And there's something about not just verbal abuse, but also physical, or something about crossing boundaries, because we also have this card right here. So yeah, that did come out. And there's something about someone losing status or reputation. So again, they could be just nervous about what people will think of them eventually after all this goes down. In the last reading, we were talking about something to do with a court case. So I feel like that could be the case for some of you. Maybe you're dealing with a court case. And yeah, someone's worried about their reputation being ruined, or they're worried about being found out to do with them being some sort of bully or doing something very bad. There's something about, like I said, physical abuse potentially. And someone could have a broken bone or a sprain. In the last reading, there was something, I can't remember which card it was, that led me to feel like this could be a thing too. And in this reading, it did come out. So I definitely feel like someone in this situation could have a broken bone or something, or there's some sort of injury someone has. It doesn't have to be from, like, physical abuse. I just feel like there is someone with an injury. And they could be receiving medical care for it. Also, there's something to do with mental illness or medication. So this could be definitely the karmic person. As we see here, we have, like, someone who, I forget what this card says, insanity, delusions. So basically someone with a little bit of, like, psychotic behavior, and this could be some sort of ruling that this person has to get help, or something to do with their mental illness. Like, in the courtroom, that's talked about. Maybe they're not all there. Maybe they did things without completely knowing what they were doing. Like, I don't really know. But something related to that has to do with this court situation, and to do with this, whatever happened, in terms of something physical. And yeah, we also have just verbal abuse, someone, you know, talking down to the other person. I definitely feel like this is the karmic person or karmic people with this Divine Masculine. And he was telling them to go away. He was standing up for himself. And then we have police and authority here as well. So I feel like they were eventually, like I've said, maybe called in because he just couldn't deal with it anymore by himself. Like, he eventually had to get some sort of help. Someone could also, there's something about someone going to school maybe to become a therapist or a teacher, someone to help others with mental illness. This could be because they've been through it themselves. This could also just be like the karmic person getting some sort of help. There's something about helping others with their emotions, like something about balancing emotions, helping someone balance emotions, ending an imbalanced situation in a home or in a partnership. So like rebalancing a situation in a home or a partnership, or ending something that was very imbalanced in a home or partnership. And this could also have to do with kids as well, just because there is kids on this card here. I always see this as kids. I don't know why. And there's also this insanely determined energy to end one situation in a home and to move towards some sort of spiritual teacher or a healer, and to have a new beginning with them, or to share something with them. So again, this could be a therapist, but also could be you, Divine Feminine, and it could be talking about him moving towards you, very determined to end this karmic situation. And you're looked at as someone who is a teacher or a healer. But yes, very, very determined energy. I forget where we had it. Yeah, we had literally the 8 of Wands, the 8 of Cups, and the World card, which is like very fast moving energy, walking away from something and ending a cycle out. And this also has to do with travel as well. And then part of the threats against Divine Masculine were to do with you, Divine Feminine. And basically the karmic person didn't want him talking to you after they found out about you, or they heard him say something about you. So by doing so, like by talking to you, he would be taking some kind of a risk. And there also could have been some sort of threats to do with work or job. There was something that they planned to use against him if they knew about a project or an idea. They could have threatened to expose it, some sort of blackmail. They also could have, like, it could just be something like they got into some sort of private information at his work, or just something that they had on him that could potentially have to do with work that they were trying to use against him, or they were trying to steal some sort of project or idea. And yeah, he also at one point I think tried to block them as well. Like, this could also be recent, like he could in the future end up blocking them, or he has before. But yeah, there's something that, again, they were holding against him, and these people just wanted control over him. It was very much a control thing, and it ultimately led them to do crazy things and very much wanting to keep him where he was so they could benefit financially or physically from him. And that is also why I think that something physical may have happened, just because this person was not entirely well, this karmic person, and they could have just like lashed out in the moment when they found out something about you or something about where he was going, and they just got very angry and weren't ready for him to leave. They weren't ready to let go because they just wanted to stay in the control, and they just needed him there because they relied on him. I also feel like, too, that this divine masculine may have helped this karmic person or tried to get them help in the past. Like, that's what this could be referring to. Like, I feel like he could have tried to get them proper medication or tried to tell them to go get help, and I don't think they listened ultimately. So I think that's why he had to move forward with something to do with the law, or getting outside help or intervention, because he couldn't do it alone anymore. He couldn't get help. And I don't think the people around this karmic person were good influences either. I think they were kind of like on the same page with this karmic person, maybe big partiers, or drank a lot or did drugs or something. So I think it was just divine masculine basically on his own in this situation, trying to make things better and, again, find balance in this home that they were in, or this living situation. They could have been living with others as well. And then whatever this truth is that this karmic person didn't want anyone to find out about, them being with other people or using him for money, or using his money for some purpose, which was not something that she had previously mentioned. Like, if it was meant to go towards something, it was going towards something else. Yeah, there's something that she was keeping hidden that she didn't want people to find out, and she was embarrassed about. She was trying to, again, blackmail him, do everything to stop him from speaking about this. But basically, they're going to find out, I feel. There's going to be some truth that's found out or spoken about. And so below here, too, we also have the encouragement card. So this card talks about divine masculine being encouraged to speak his mind and to step into his dream life. Which is funny because when I saw this card, the first thing I heard before I even looked up the meaning, because these are new cards, I heard the song "This Is What Dreams Are Made Of" by Hilary Duff. So thought that was funny. But this card says that you will get the help that you need. So divine masculine will get the help he needs, or this karmic person will get the help that they need in the end. Like, if they do need help with their mental health, and that's the problem in the situation. It can also be talking to a mother figure or someone who's, kind and trusting, and getting encouraging words from them to move forward and express yourself. Yeah, it talks about being brave and, saying how you feel and speaking your truth. And then next to this, we have the Wizard of Awareness card. So this talks about the struggle inside of us and taking a step back and instead stepping into an observer position to, clearly see things from a new perspective outside of opinion and desire. So it asks you to give up your need to limit or define what you're experiencing right now and just let it be, because it talks about a miracle unfolding soon, but you need to basically surrender to your situation or release something to allow this to happen, which is so funny because this morning we talked about something similar to this. And so if you haven't watched my reading from this morning about divine feminine, like being more powerful than you are or that you believe you are, go watch that reading, because this is very similar to the meaning in that, and that reading really clarifies everything about this card and is definitely, I feel like, some guidance from the universe about how to move forward in this situation. So I would recommend you watch that. And then we also have balance and self-esteem, which talk about moving forward without judgment. So again, this is divine masculine, letting go of like these feelings of I'm gonna look weak if I talk about how I feel, if I come forward about what's going on in this situation and like what I put up with. People are gonna think like, what are they gonna think of me? I feel like he really cares about his reputation, but he basically needs to let go of that to move forward and just realize that it's okay. And also just, yeah, be strong in himself and like speak his truth no matter what, whether that's speaking to you, divine feminine, or speaking about this karmic situation. And definitely something about finding balance again, and moving forward and not judging yourself or others, you know. And I feel like balance is very important in this situation because it has to do with both divine masculine and this karmic person, and maybe others in this situation are all dealing with some sort of mental health issues, whether that's like a mental health condition that this karmic person's dealing with and needs to take medication for, or it's just divine masculine dealing with like all of this pent-up emotion and sadness and trauma from dealing with these people and trying to help them, you know. Like I feel like everyone in this situation needs to find balance, and it's something about that being restored once, you know, some truth is spoken, once someone speaks out about it. So yeah, I don't know, I feel like that's what's happening in this reading. Definitely balance will be restored, I have a feeling about that. But yeah, it involves something with a law potentially for some of you. Someone could be divorced in this situation. Someone is your twin flame, of course. I always have to acknowledge every card or someone gets mad at me. Also, your predictions are accurate. That card came out as well. So you could have predicted something or told divine masculine that you felt a bad feeling about this person or a situation like way ahead of time, and now it's coming true and he's like, oh my god, why didn't I listen? Or someone else could have said something to him like, I don't think you should be with this person, or maybe he had a chance to leave earlier on in the relationship and he didn't. There's something about someone predicting something which has now become true in this situation. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I have for you guys today. I feel like this reading's been a little bit all over the place. I kind of rambled a lot. I literally coughed every 10 seconds in between edits, so I'm sorry guys, I try my best. But if you do like this video, please comment, like, and subscribe as always. And if you like a personal reading, oh my gosh, please check the description box below. And yeah, also I wanted to say that I now have the community tab, which is really exciting. So I might start posting like additional channel messages or any information I have there if I don't do a video or something, just because sometimes I get a lot and I know some of you are interested in them. So yeah, I guess keep up with that, check it out once in a while, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, goodbye.